Today, this is a very interesting one. Client just called me to look at the socket for a new washing machine. They had an engineer coming in and actually testing the socket. They've got like the tiny little device they plug in. I've got a couple of those. Actually, really good to have this now. When you order your new washing machine, someone comes in and before they just plug it and leave you to it, they actually verify the safety. So firstly, before I do anything, I'm going to put just a socket tester to see if there is anything at all. So I'm assuming is the one to the right because it's off. So let's put that one in. Okay, and let's plug this in. Well, nothing is happening. Let's open up the fuse just to see if it may be a fuse, maybe something simple, maybe not. So we're gonna leave the fuse, test it just for the continuity. That's how you testing the fuse. Ohms, touch, it works. Yeah, fuse is okay. So interesting. Well, at that point, okay, yeah, clients told me that when they pushed the socket tester in, it was on and off, on and off. I think this one is going to be fairly easy. Just changing the socket's faceplate could solve the whole thing. Let's do that. Okay, we're now going to just test from the top of the breaker. Sorry, top of the actual socket. This is what you got. That's the earth to live, and well, I know it's I can see it 230, and to neutral. Earth to neutral should be absolutely nothing. Earth, neutral, nothing, and neutral to live. Yeah, 238. I think it's just a socket. Let's turn it off and replace the socket. It's just a simple arrangement. Spare, one cable from the spare socket. First look at the socket, I couldn't see anything at all. It looks like it's just standard normal socket. I'm not sure what the HP brand is, but on a closer look, I've just dropped the guard. That earth pin is opening up, and I can see that the live terminal is nice and shiny. The neutral terminal, it isn't. So I'm gonna open it up and see. We don't have the old washing machine here to look at the plug for the old washing machine. All the parts might just jumped on me. Yeah, not massively dirty or oxidized, but still just a tiny little bit. And the arrangement is simple. That one is pretty tight. That one isn't. So yeah, that's socket's gone. When you got a single cable, always double over. You see there's damage from the screw? Cut it short, strip, and double over. Super important. We've got two earths. We don't have to because we got earth on the back of the box. Cut where the impression from the screw is, because that can break, especially when you're pushing the socket back and forth. Double over. That's it. I'm gonna go and grab the new socket, put this on. We're gonna test, and we also do RCD testing as well. Well, actually, I just found something as I went back in and out. Found this on the floor. Firstly, I disregarded because it was just a switch. But look what's on the other side. It was actually melting. Let me show you where that lives. That lives right there. Can you see the black's burning right here? That's where the rocker lives. Through the plate, right there. That goes in here. So is this. That's the full socket. So when you switch, there was a little tab. Essentially, there's still burnings remain. So look, it wasn't giving a good contact, and because it wasn't giving a good contact, that's why when I wiggle with the actual my little tester, it didn't give me a contact. So it's actually the fault of that little switch. I'm not sure if it's just a design problem on these HP. If anyone recognized the actual brand, let me know. But this is it. I wonder if they had a recall on these sockets or not. I don't recognize the brand. Yeah, that's the problem. A new socket goes in, and I am a big guy, but I'm actually managed to squeeze into this cabinet. So pretty well done for me. I'm gonna put it on, test it. We will also carry out the RCD test. Ask the client if the RCD did trip or not, because essentially here it was the problem with the live, not the neutral. Maybe RCD wouldn't have trip if it would be otherwise. Like problem with the neutral, if you're asking for the power needs to be received by neutral back, and RCD should have trip, but because the problem was on the switch, so it was on the incoming live, so the appliance hasn't managed to request the power in because it was broken by the circuit. The RCD didn't know that there is an imbalance to trip. But let's put it on and let's test. So switch. Firstly, just gonna use this as a quick reference. 3 green ones is good. That is also good. The green one is just telling me the resistance is really low, the earth loop impedance. But we're gonna get the big boy. We are going to do a ZS test. Test this earth loop impedance, and we will do RCD test as well. Before we do RCD test, we just check with the client to make sure they're not working online, like on a big computer. Imagine someone's writing a book, you take the power off. Yeah, potentially that's a risk to my life. Firstly, just loop test. This should not cause the RCD to trip because we've got a settings RCD. So let's give that one a go. And we're looking for a really low value right there. 0.23. That's a really low, nice value for this PER from the ring socket circuit. At this moment, I'm going to change it to RCD. I'm going to carry out the full test for the client. Here we go. So the full testing times half, times 1, times 2, times 5, and also ramp test on both 0 degrees and 180 degrees of the AC wavelength. I'll check with the client if it's okay for me to do that. I'm going to go by the fuse board because this will cause the fuse board to trip 8 times. So I press start here. That's now going to induce the 30 milliamps. I'm going to go to the RCD and trip it. So that was once. That's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's it. Here we go. A full results of test. It hasn't tripped half the value. It did trip at 33.7 millisecond times 1. That's not bad. The maximum value is 300 milliseconds, so plenty of headroom. Times 2, times 5. By the regulations, it has only 40 milliseconds. We are well below that threshold. Ramp test is giving us 22.5 milliamps. It means that this 30 milliamps RCD, it's tripping at 22.5 milliamps. The older it gets, the more sensitive it becomes. 22.5, well, it's nothing to really worry about. The more electronic devices we have at home, the more earth leakage there will be, and that could be causing a nuisance tripping in the next 5-10 years. But when I ask the client, they don't have any of that issue, any of those symptoms. Visually, there's no immediate need to upgrade anything for the property. Well, let's plug the new washing machine. So finally, more of that can happen actually. Thank you.